Huh? Come on, that's what friends do. A warm hug always helps to make things better.
A look of discomfort becomes immediately apparent on Yuri's and Natsuki's faces. As much as I appreciate Sayori's effort, we should probably move on now, for both of their sakes. Luckily, the sentiment is shared with Monika as she addresses the club a moment later.
Okay, everyone. Now that the two of you are doing better, how about we share some poems? We only have half an hour remaining, unfortunately, but if we want to make the most of it, I say we can share as a group this time around. That sounds like fun, Monika.
Agreed. Now that I think of it, we've only ever shared as a group once. If anything, it'll be a nice change of pace. Natsuki and Yuri nod their heads in agreement as well, albeit less enthusiastically.
What about you, Hallie?
Oh. Sure, why not?
Then it's settled. Go get your poems, everyone.
Monika heads off to the other side of the room, and the others follow suit. My backpack was thankfully already sitting on a nearby desk, so I just grab out the folder then to pull out my poem. So I guess the red fade is us transitioning to Hallie. For the next 15 minutes or so, we share poems one by one, going clockwise in the arrangement of 6 desks Monika had laid out for us. Being in literature club and all, I'm surprised they've only group shared once. This method seems more efficient, not to mention much less likely to end up in an argument given the social pressure of facing the whole club. Actually, it may have been that very thing that kept them from sharing as a group to begin with. Not that I'm one to talk, but Natsuki and Yuri are pretty antisocial, all things considered. Even now they speak as though they have an entire crowd in front of them, constantly stuttering, averting their gaze, and making several nervous gestures. Both of them are able to finish reading their respective poems regardless, and the activity comes to its inevitable conclusion. It is inevitable conclusion.
So, how did everyone else feel about that? That was fun! Yeah, it was alright. Would have been much better if I didn't have so many people staring at me.
If you want, we can look the other way when you read.
Sure, that'll only make it more awkward. I'll pass.
Likewise, although for me, the pressure lies in the anxiety of how my work will be received. It may be a while longer before I can stand on the same level as you 5.
I wouldn't worry about it, Hallie. You've been doing great so far. As long as you keep it up, you'll catch up to us in no time.
I appreciate that, but there's something about the way you all write that I can't seem to replicate. There's a lot more, depth to each of your poems. Where'd you all find the inspiration?
Well, listening to music has always helped me in that regard. Not only can it set the tone, but it also doubles as a de-stressor. Combine the two, and my pen flows freely on the page. I second that!
Okay, what about you guys? Natsuki and Yuri fail to answer, provoking Eli to speak up on their behalf. Well, I use my own experiences, I guess. It's easiest to write about something that I can relate to and project my own feelings onto. I'll also browse the internet for some ideas too, even if it's just to help with my shitty grammar. I see. My own experiences, huh? I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. The monotony of my daily life would be too boring for any poem, honestly. Thanks for the advice. I'll be sure to take those into account for the next assignment. And to answer your question from earlier, Monika, I prefer this sharing method over the last. It's much more efficient, and the added social pressure helps to prevent certain quarrels from sparking up in future. In my peripheral vision, I notice Natsuki and Yuri look away sheepishly. Monika nods, however, seemingly pleased with my response.
I was thinking the same thing, Hallie. From here on out, I want us all to share as a group each meeting. Any objections? Not at all. Alright then. Oh, and I have one more announcement to make before you guys leave. Announcement? It's about the school's upcoming Halloween celebration.
There's another Halloween festival?
You could call it that, although it's nothing like the last one we had. The Friday the 13th festival is mostly set up by the student council. Of course, there were limitations on what they could and couldn't allow. This time, the event's run by the school itself.
What's the difference?
Oh, right. I forgot you were a transfer student. When our school holds an event, it opens up as a public space. Most of the time, it's for a holiday. For this festival, the school also encouraged clubs to hold various activities around the campus in celebration of Halloween.
I see. So if the last one wasn't about Halloween, what was it about?
Friday the 13th.
Right.
Anyway, the event's to take place really interesting ideas.
Oh. Does that mean we'll have to read a poem in front of everyone like how you all did? Monica shakes her head.
Yes, but also no. That's actually one of the things I'd like to talk with you all about. We've been doing really great with poems lately, but I think it's about time we take a leap and move on.
Huh?
This is a literature club, you know. I'd like for us to move on and explore other avenues of literature. And, wouldn't you know it, the upcoming festival presents itself as the perfect opportunity to do just that.
What do you have in mind, then?
Well, what goes better with Halloween than telling scary stories?
Scary stories. You mean transitioning our work to those short stories you mentioned a while back and presenting those?
Precisely. You catch on quick. What kind of excuse is that? You can write scary poems too, you know. Jeez. First I gotta deal with all this horror stuff, and now we're supposed to switch to a totally different form of literature. I'm sorry, I didn't know that would be a problem. No, it's just... It won't be a problem at all, Monica. Although I'm a bit worried about how I'll perform, I accept the challenge. It'll act as a wonderful opportunity to refine my skills in the art of storytelling.
Ditto.
Ah, fine! You just had to come and make me feel like the odd one out, Hallie.
That's your fault, not mine. I thought you'd have learned from your talk earlier about being more understanding.
I know, but... never mind. Alright then, now for what I need you guys to do in preparation for the event. Yuri, the banners and overall atmosphere you set up for the club during the last festival was wonderful. I'd like for you to do something similar to that. Of course. Natsuki, you'll be... baking! Yep, I can handle that! I'd also prefer you decorate the cupcakes to be more Halloween themed. Of course, but I won't be baking cupcakes. Oh, what do you have in mind then, Natsuki? Secret. You'll just have to find out when they're ready. I look forward to it. So, Yuri, as we discussed earlier, you're going to get Halloween decorations to set up around the room. Don't forget the candy! Right. She'll also be getting the candy to hand out. And of course, I'll be working on the pamphlets and flyers.
So, what are we doing?
The two of you will be helping one of us out. I don't want you guys slacking off without any work to do.
I know. So, Hallie, who are you going with? You want me to choose first? Yeah, duh, you're the new guy. And I don't want to take the job you'd feel more comfortable helping with, you know. I suppose that's fair. So I have no choice but to help one of the club members out for this festival. Well, I can either help Yuri with setting up the atmosphere, whatever the hell that entails. Natsuki with her baking, obviously. Sayori with decorations and candy too, apparently. Or I could help Monica with the pamphlets. Whoever it is I decide to help, I should make sure that I choose wisely. So, who should I help out for the event? How can we help him? He's not doing it. We'll help the helper. I feel like this is like a major route choice that we should probably drop there. Like, the other choices, it might be interesting to check them out sometime, but I just want to see what happens when we pick this. Huh? Me? There's nothing I'm gonna need help with, man. It's the others who you gotta choose between. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I'm gonna go with Yuri. For once, we're just gonna pick my best girl to start.
You want to help me?
Is that a problem?
No, not at all.
Yuri, eh? If that's the case, then I'll go help out Sayori. Knowing her, she's gonna need someone to carry all those decorations.
Okay, then that finalizes our plan for the festival.
Monica turns to me. Oh, I'm the other guy.
If you'd like, Callie, you'll have plenty of time tomorrow to discuss festival preparations with Yuri. It's about time we wrapped things up here for today, however, so you're dismissed. See you all next club meeting.
Everyone says their goodbyes after grabbing their respective bags from across the room. I'm really gonna participate in this festival, huh? I really hope I don't come to regret this. Oh, I got little transitions for day and night now. Isn't that fancy? October 18th, 2017. I didn't read the time. Crossing the yellow tape surrounding the area, I step into a dark alley only illuminated by the lights of the sirens. I don't know who we are. I can just make out Detective Nakamura waiting for me up ahead by the flashlight he holds in his hand. I forgot what voice I gave.
Morning, Hashimoto.
I'm like totally out of. I forget. I did these guys. They must have existed before. I only like double checked to see what voice I kind of used for Hallie, not so much the other characters. Oh dear.
Morning. You sure took your time getting here.
Yeah, can you blame me? Just when I thought I'd be earning my beauty sleep this time around, I got called out here 3 in the morning.
You know how these things go. Most incidents we've had relating to the case thus far have taken place in the dead of night, specifically within the hours preceding midnight. I'm shocked you haven't shifted your schedule to accommodate yet.
Yeah, I know. Still gotta miss the times when they'd happen closer to the afternoon, right? He shoots me a stern glare. How about you just fill me in on what happened then?
Well,
the detective goes on to describe the current situation. 3 bodies, a suspicious call, and of course with no perp in sight. I can discern from the briefing he gave me that this caller likely wasn't one of the victims, but rather the murderer themselves. Although that's not the point which catches my attention. One of the bodies, the only one to be identified, was found with a deep stab wound to the neck, as well as a broken wrist. The others, on the other hand, each had a bullet wound to the chest. Something about that just doesn't add up.
Alongside the wallet we used to confirm the man's identity, we found something else.
Oh, what might that be?
This.
He pulls out a business card from his breast pocket. It's white in color, with the logo of an air conditioning company in the top left corner.
We tried calling the number on the card, of course, but the line was dead. It doesn't have the man's name on it anywhere, so make of it what you will.
Understood. He hands me the card, and I proceed to look over it once more. I get a sense of deja vu that I can't explain. It's as if I've seen this before, though I'm positive I haven't. For the time being, I shake off this feeling and stuff the card in my own breast pocket. So, anything else you got for me, Nakamura?
Apart from a baseball bat that was found lying nearby, that's all that I've been told. If you ask me, this whole situation's a mess. I'm sure you've already gathered that the method in which the latter 2 were killed differs significantly from the first, even enough so that I suspect the involvement of multiple individuals. Why bother slitting the throat of the first man if you were to go ahead and execute the others with a bullet to the chest mere moments after?
How can you be so sure that it wasn't one man who shot the first 2 and only resorted to using a knife for the third? With the broken wrist, I'd say there's clear signs of a struggle.
For a multitude of reasons. We received reports of gunshots in the area just minutes before the first responders arrived. Supposedly, they were having difficulties pinning down the location from just the call alone and used those to narrow it down to this specific alley. Upon arrival, they found all 3 dead. However, only one of the victims had wounds with dried blood. That being the one stabbed in the throat. With their estimated time of death so far apart, it's hard to assume only one person or group was involved, unless coordinating their time, call, and methods of murder were their odd attempts at throwing us off their trails. I haven't been able to deduce why they would call in the police to play the situation as a group of friends being attacked, but I can say for certain that's not what really happened. Remember the incident back at the station, Hashimoto?
Yeah, 5 people injured and tied up. Looked to be related to gang activity. What about it?
Well, the call we received was similar to that of the one we received then, wouldn't you say? They stated it to only have been a street brawl, but upon arrival, the scene could only be described as something straight out of vigilante-esque comic book. Both calls were also stated to have been suspicious, or at least relatively so, given the end results of each. It's even a coincidence that in both calls, the caller refused to stay on the line despite telling the operators to hurry up.
You mean to say they're on the more one and the same?
Not exactly. While the 2 calls are certainly similar, there's nothing else I can think of to link the 2 incidents, at least not at this very moment. Finding out the real truth will prove itself to be difficult, however my intuition tells me my theory may not be far off.
Yeah, we weren't able to extract anything of note from those 5 victims. It's a shame. If this incident really is connected in some way to that or what happened then, their information would have proved useful right about now. But right now, we're basically at another dead end.
We haven't much outside of what I've just told you. The only thing we can do now is delve into each of the 3 victims' lives to find a possible motive for the killer.
And with 2 of the 3 yet to be identified, yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass it may be, but it's also our job.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this not long enough to know that much.
And yet you still remain so unprofessional.
I laugh at the detective's response, though he doesn't share the same enthusiasm. Kid's really got to learn to lighten up a bit.
Oh, he's young? Whoopsies.
Silence zooms between us for a moment, giving me the time to think over all that I know about this situation. Until we know more about the victims, there isn't much I can deduce given the evidence we got. If he believes the two incidents could possibly be related, then maybe I should humor that theory. After some thinking, I eventually recall the van with the narcotics that were stored inside. Assuming the two were related, this incident might be able to help me in my case. Violet ice. That new drug has people going all crazy for it. There's so much of it on the streets these days, and that number only continues to grow by each passing moment. I wouldn't be surprised if these 3 men were killed by someone under its influence. That van back at the station even had some stored in the back, alongside other narcotics. Wait, that van. I think I remember something about it. I pull out the business card from my breast pocket, examining the logo once more.
Is something the matter, Hashimoto?
This card. I think there might be more to this.
Alright, well that seems like the perfect place to stop for the time being. We will pick up with this next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with more Rising Knight Chapter 2 demo. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.